Hello friends, my name is Poonam Doshi and today we are going to start with introduction of Java programming language. So what we'll go through in this video, history and features of Java, how to install the JDK, JRE, JVM and first simple Java program. So when we talk about the history, so Java was developed by Sun Microsystem in 1991, later acquired by Oracle Corporation. It was developed by James Gosling and Patrick Norton. It is a simple programming language, easy to understand. So that's why the writing, compiling and debugging of a program is easy in Java. It helps us to create modular programs and reusable code. I want to add one more point here in the history. Initially Java was called as the Oak and later on in 1995 it is renamed to Java. Sun Microsystem was acquired by the Oracle Corporation in 2010. So Oracle has now the steermanship for Java. Latest version of JDK in the market now is 10.0. Now we'll talk about the features of Java. The first feature, Java is platform independent language. So why we says that it is platform independent language? There is a tagline for this is like write once, run when anywhere. That means if I have written a code in one operating system, that code I can run on any operating system. That means it is not dependent on that OS. Why? Because uh, it JVM is there. That means Java is having its own compiler, that is JVM, Java Virtual Machine, and that compiler is responsible to generate the output. We'll discuss this deeply in when we talk about the JVM, JDK and JRE. That is in the next slide. So that's why we see that platform independent language. I can run it on any operating system. One point you have to remember here is Java source code is platform independent, but the software is not platform independent. JDK, JRE and JVM, these things are not platform independent. These are the platform dependent. You have to download the compatible software for that particular operating system. Java is object oriented language. Yes, it is provide me the OOPS concept. Using that I can achieve the efficient code. I can remove the complexities, plus I can write the code that I can reuse it. So this is again a great feature. Simple, yes, Java is a very simple programming language. The syntax are very simple, easy to understand. Robust, yes, why we say is that Java is a robust programming language? Because it has removed the multiple inheritance concept, so ambiguity is not there. Pointers concept is removed in Java, so that's why we say is that it's a robust language. Secured, yes, it is a secured, because as I've said key, Java is having its own compiler and it is responsible to generate the byte code to compile the code and it shows the output. That means my source code is not directly affecting. That's why we see is that it is secured just because of that bytecode. Java is distributed. Yes, it is distributed. It provides me the libraries like RMI sockets. Using that, I can write the distributed applications. Multi-threading. Multi-threading provides me the facilities. Using that, I can split my code into a small processes. I can, if I want to stop some process for some particular seconds, minutes, that I can achieve using the multi-threading. Plus I can run the many processes at the same time. This all facilities is given by multi-threading. A real life example of multi-threading, we can say the game. uh, Game is like I can stop, I can run it, I can play with another, like two-person can play the same game at the same time. So this is a real-time example for the multi-threading, we can say. Portable, yes, it is a portable. I can run it on any operating system without changing the source code. So that's why we can say it is a portable. Now here you can see the JDK, JVM, JRE and the libraries. What is JDK? JDK is a Java development kit which provides us the software environment to execute, compile our code. Then with JRE, Java Runtime Environment, which provides us the JVM plus libraries. Now what is JVM? JVM is a Java virtual machine. We can say it as an abstract machine also. When you run the Java program, Java compiler first compiles your Java code to byte codes, then the JVM translates bytes code into native machine code. That means set of instruction that a computer CPU executes directly. So Java is platform independent language that already we discussed. It's because when you write a code, it's ultimately written for Java but not for your operating system. So JVM executes the Java byte code which is platform independent. So here the main task of the JVM is execute the byte code into machine code and machine code to the output. Plus JRE provides us the libraries. Using that libraries we can write applications. Inbuilt library, Java provides us many inbuilt libraries. Using that we can write our application. Now we'll see the installation of JDK. If I want to run the Java program in my operating system, so I have to download the JDK. You can download the JDK from Oracle sites. It is freeware. After the downloading, you can install it. The installation is easy. If you have any doubts in the installation, you can post a comment. After the installation, you can see one folder inside your C drive program files, and inside that program files it will create a Java folder. Inside that Java folder you can see again two folders, JDK and JRE. So inside the JDK, copy your path, go to bin folder, copy your path, go to my computer, right click there, properties, advanced system settings, environment variables, then go to path, double click on that or click on edit, go to end, give the semicolon and paste your path. Click on OK, OK, and close it. Now my environment is ready or not. My path is set properly or not. To check that, type the command Java C in the command prompt. If it shows you some commands, then your path is set properly. Otherwise, it will show you that Java C not batch command or give you an error. Okay. Now my environment is ready and I can run a small program on this operating system. Now we'll go to a main programming structure of a Java. Here I have written one small structure. Here I have written one small structure that is class main, public static void main, statements. We'll go through one by one. In Java, you have to write everything inside the class. You cannot write anything outside the class except two things, import and package. We'll come to this point, import and package, but just remember that you cannot write except these two things outside the class. Now class is a keyword. Java is case sensitive language. We have to write this keyword as it is. You cannot write class in a capital letter. Class, then main. Main is the class name. There are naming conventions for the class. Class name should start with the capital letter. But if you don't write in a capital letter, it will not give you an error. But it is naming conventions. As a good programmer, we have to follow this naming conventions. You can give any name. I have given main. Now public static void main. Why it is public? Public, we can say it is a access specifier. And why it is public? Because JVM wants to access this method directly. So that's why the public. The runtime can execute this method. Remember that if you make any method non-public, then it is not allowed to be executed by any program. So there are some access restriction applied. As I said, keep private and protected is there, but we'll talk about this later on. Public means you can access it anywhere. Now static. Why it is static? When Java runtime starts, there is no object of this class present. That's why the main method has to be static, so that JVM can load the class into memory and call the main method. If the main method won't be static, JVM would not be able to call it because there is no object of this class is present. That's why we make it as a static. Void. Java programming mandates that every method provides the return type. Now Java main method doesn't return anything, that's why its return type is void. This has been done to keep things simple, because once the main method is finished executing, Java program terminates. So there is no point in returning anything. There is nothing that can be done for the return object by JVM. If we try to return something from the main method, it will give compilation error as unexpected return value. Now the main is the name of the method. It is mandatory to give a main method name as a main. In bracket, string, args and the square bracket. Now remember that string is a class in Java. It's not a data type in Java. Args, this is the name of the string class array. So this name you can give anything. It is not mandatory to give args only. And square bracket represents the array. Now we'll execute the first Java program. Class main public static void main string args Now I'm writing a program just to print one simple message on the console. Welcome to IT Tools Training. Okay. Now what is system here? System is a class which is inside java.lang package. Java packages are like inbuilt libraries. We also can create our own packages, but right now just understand that it is if I want to use the inbuilt classes, then there are some packages, defined packages. We can simply say a one folder. So this class is present inside the java.lang package. Java.lang package in Java, by default it uses that java.lang package. So we don't have to manually write the import statement. If I want to use some outside library, then in Java we have to write the import statement. But currently we are not using that because java.language by default imported in this classes, in all the classes. Now out is static object of print stream class, we can say. Okay. And println is the method which is responsible to display the message on the screen. And I'm giving here 2 forward slashes means comment. That means it is for the reading purpose. That will not affect on my code. Now here I am giving my class name and my file name, name same. Okay. It is not mandatory. I'll show you what happens when we don't give a class name and file name same. So to compile the code, javac file name .java, and to run the code, java and the class name. So when I execute this javac main.java, JVM creates the .class file at the backend. I'll show you that .class file. Now the class name and file name was same. I'll give a different name to class and we'll check that is it allowed. So yes, it is allowed. Remember that when we'll run the code, we'll use a file name. When we'll compile the code, we'll use a file name, and when we'll run the code, in that case we'll use a class name. Why? Because my class is responsible to show the output. So JVM creates the class file using the class name, not using the file name. So that's why when we give the class name and file name different, we have to compile the code using the file name and run the code using the class name. Now when my class is public, in that case my class name and my file name must be same. You can see the error here. Main1 is a public, should be declared in a file named main1. So we'll save it as a main1, and you can write only one public class in one file. Only one public class in one file. And if it contains the main, then definitely you have to write your main class as a public. Okay, now it is running. So it is showing me the output. If you have any doubt, you can post it in a comment. Thank you so much for watching.